Today we're taking a look at the Be Quiet PowerZone 2 1200 watt power supply. This PSU is going to power what's going to become my shiny new local AI server. I know, we all kind of hate AI, but the local AI bug has kind of bitten me. I'm very interested to see what I can do with the hardware that I have. At heart, I am a home labber and a gamer, so I want to test out the GPUs that I've got. Obviously, running all of this stuff privately and securely at home in my home lab instead of giving all of my data to some cloud hyperscaler is definitely my preference, and probably most of you too. So to power my multi-GPU rig, I did contact Be Quiet to have them send over a 1200 watt PSU because my plan was to start with 3 GPUs and maybe expand to 4 or 5 or even 6 if I get creative, depending on the value that I get out of the system during testing. The PowerZone 2 PSU is a perfect match for what I want to do. 1200 watts worth of power on one beefy AF 12 volt rail, supplying up to 100 amps is perfect. And this PSU is rated for 80 plus platinum efficiency, which is definitely going to make a difference here because this rig will be powered on pretty much 24/7 and always doing something. If I can save watts wherever I can, I definitely want to. The PSU features 2 right angle 12 2x6 PCI Express 5.1 connectors, which is very handy so you don't have to buy anything that's aftermarket. Now, these connectors in general are not known for being great connectors, though Be Quiet did take care to build a very nice cable here with that built-in right angle connector. In using this, it looks like it pretty much alleviates most of the strain. I actually ran mine up through the side by the motherboard, and there's basically no strain or no sag or pull on the cable, so definitely a good thing to see here. The PSU is cooled by a PureWings 3 fan, which is good because after I finish this rig off, I'm hoping that I'll have quite a few GPUs in here, and I really don't want that PSU to overheat. The PSU sound output is actually pretty ridiculously low. 7.7 dBA is pretty much the standard, right up until you get to that 100% load factor, where it ramps up to 25.5 dBA. So I'm kind of thinking by the time I draw 1 kilowatt worth of power across a couple of GPUs and the CPU and all these fans, well, there's just no chance I'm going to hear this power supply fan at all. It's going to be the quietest thing that emits sound in probably the whole system with an active moving part. Even if you're not running a crazy AI server, 25.5 dBA, it might as well basically be silent. You would be pretty hard pressed to hear that over any other component in the system. In addition to the ultra quiet fan operation, the PSU does also feature a semi-passive mode, which again just speaks to the efficiency and the quality of the components in the PSU. The PSU reaches 89.8% efficiency at a 10% load on a 230 volt circuit, which is quite good. And of course, it hits 90 and remains above 90 basically right up until 100% load. Since this rig is eventually going to have a couple of GPUs in it, my 9700X, which I may or may not overclock, and between 64 to 128 gigs of DDR5, it's kind of important to me that the PSU that I use actually be a quality unit. Which brings me to the next item for the PowerZone 2. These do have 10-year manufacturing warranties, and while I obviously don't have the ability to test this 10 years in the future, it is very nice to see that Be Quiet stands behind the product. In terms of really testing each of the connections and the different voltage rails in this, I don't really have that technical ability, but I did check out the Cake Guru technical review, and they found this PSU to operate quite well under various loads. So it's definitely worth taking a look at, and I'll link it below. As for the specifics on my system, I'm running the 9700X with PBO enabled for now, the Be Quiet 420mm Silent Loop 3 all-in-one water cooler, 64 gigabytes of KingBank DDR5 6000 memory. Shout out to KingBank for sending that kit over, by the way. It's all connected to the MSI Mag X670E Tomahawk motherboard. And as for the main AI type component, well, I'll be running dual RTX 3060 12GB GPUs, and I'll probably dedicate those for LLM usage, maybe some agent stuff. And then I have an Asus RTX 4070 Super. I'm kind of thinking about using that for image and video generation tasks. obviously not at the same time, but I'll try to batch the jobs or something and run them in between. So that was my plan at least. But when I got to installing all this into my Shadowbase 800FX, which is a very big case and very nice case by the way, I realized the PCI Express slot spacing on this motherboard was pretty much not going to let me use all 3 GPUs. The bottom slot wouldn't really let that second RTX 3060 12GB GPU fit. It was kind of resting at that last PCI Express slot, but I couldn't actually insert it into the slot to get it to click. It was probably a couple millimeters away, and that's just not a good idea. So for my testing, I'll only be using one 3060 12GB and the 4070 Super 12GB to see what I can do. I wanted to test out mainly the Qwen 3.6 27B model, as that should fit pretty well in 24GB of VRAM. I ran that in LM Studio, and I was seeing a total system power draw of just about 350 watts, which, to be honest, is lower than I thought it would be, but it means I have tons of headroom for either higher-end GPUs, or maybe even adding more 3060 12GB GPUs. I know the high-end GPUs are always preferable, but let's face it, a 3090, which is kind of an older GPU now, is going for about 12, 13, 14, 1500 bucks. So I'm thinking I could buy a bundle of 3060s, and I could either use them all together, or if I switch to a hypervisor like Proxmox, maybe I could dedicate a couple 3060s for one LXC and then a couple 3060s for another LXC. Eventually, my plan is to switch away from Windows 11 and actually run Proxmox directly on this. I'll be following the Digital Spaceport Proxmox setup guide for VLLM, as I've watched all of it and it looks like a quality setup. What I think I'll end up doing is probably allocating 24 to 30 gigabytes, probably 30 gigabytes of system memory for the LLM usage, and then I'll probably set up the other LXC with the 4070 Super for the image and video generation. I'm guessing that one probably needs a little bit less memory. This motherboard does only have 3 PCI Express slots, but there's a couple of M.2 slots on here too. Those are connected at ×4, I believe, or at least a couple of them, so I might be able to get some riser kits and take this from 3 GPUs to maybe 5, maybe 6, we'll see. I could always use SATA SSDs, but I'm not sure what the impact of that is yet. My plan for fitting all of those GPUs is to move this system out of the Shadowbase 800FX and into one of those older Roseville GPU mining cases back from the crypto mining craze. They made a bunch of versions of that case. I actually picked one up back then when it was like only 60 bucks. I think I looked the other day and this was going for like 300 something. So I am glad that I bought it, hung on to it, and basically never opened the box. But that case should allow me to run, I think 6 or maybe 8 GPUs total, and they relocate those GPUs to the front of the case, so I'll have to get some PCI Express riser cables. Anyways though, that should let me increase the amount of GPUs. Considering I'm sitting at 350 watts now, I think I could pretty much do whatever I want. I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy a 5090 or a 4090. I don't have the cash for that, and if you start using 1 or 2 or 3 of those, I don't know if that's going to work or how well that's going to work on just a regular 15 amp circuit. But like I said, for this type of setup and what I think I'm probably going to do with it, this is providing quite a bit of power, and I should be all set. If I could justify it, I might even buy a 9900X CPU as well. I'll have to see how the 9700X ends up performing. As for the cabling options that are actually included with this PSU, we have some decently long and well-equipped cables here. And we've got 2 EPS 12-volt CPU power connectors at about 700 millimeters long. We've got the 2 12 2x6 600 millimeter cables. We've also got 3 of the 6+2 pin PCI Express cables for GPU power, the legacy ones. Those are all 600 millimeters. And we have a couple of SATA cables, and one even has a mixed in legacy 4-pin Molex, which is kind of neat if you have an older accessory or case. And those are each 1000 millimeters or 1 meter long. So I definitely don't think you're going to have any worries about reaching over to a hard drive or an accessory or really anything that's installed, even if you use a larger case like I'm using here. In terms of the cable sleeving, it is relatively nice quality. They're not too stiff, but they are decently thick cables, so you will have to manipulate them just a little bit. But overall, I like the cabling options. Not that I'll need it for this build, but I did want to mention that Be Quiet does certify mixing and matching some of their PSU cables across different model of PSUs. It's kind of a neat feature, and you can definitely head out to their website to check out the tool. For a build like this, I'm not going to utilize that, but if I was flipping gaming PCs, I would definitely be checking that out pretty much daily, as I'm sure in your local market, you can probably pick up some of these older PSUs at a pretty decent discount. So overall, I think the Be Quiet PowerZone 2 1200 watt PSU is really going to serve me well for a dedicated AI PC. Like I said, it's one single 12 volt rail with, I think it was 100 amps offered on it, which is kind of bananas, and that should be able to power pretty much everything with ease. In my setup, I'll probably go for quite a few GPUs. I'll end up using those M.2 connections for riser cables to basically fill out the rest of that chassis rig. Considering that we have that 10-year warranty, plentiful cable options, and this PSU runs relatively cool and actually semi-passively if you're not sucking down too much energy, I really like this one. And I definitely think it's going to be worth the cost if you're investing in a build like this. So I would recommend it. If you want to learn more about that PSU or pick one up for your build, I'll leave a link in the description below, so head down there and check that out. Like I said, I'm kind of new to all this AI stuff, so if you're interested in like a follow-up video, benchmarking performance, maybe some tuning, overclocking, undervolting, overvolting, whatever, definitely let me know in the comments section. Right now I'm just kind of playing around with this. There are a couple of things that I want to try to vibe code, different applications or scripts, stuff like that I think it'll just be handy to have. And I don't really love the idea of giving even more over to Google, Anthropic, OpenAI, you name it. Forget the cloud, not interested. So yeah, if you got any value out of this one, go ahead and smash that like button. Consider getting subscribed to the channel if you want more gaming and home lab type content. And until next time, stay powered up.